Alright, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Sounded stupid saying that, my bad. But, anyway, I'm gonna be doing this video is, is gonna be talking about, the time I had, like, a really big seizure. And what's interesting about this one is that, it actually wasn't in San Antonio, where I live. It was in, Corpus. Or Rockport, something like that. Port Aransas. It's all the same to me, I guess. So, I'm still feeling sick. If you saw the last video, yeah, I'm still feeling sick from the cold or whatever I have. But anyway, me, my dad, and Oscar, who's my mom's cousin, we went down to Corpus to celebrate Oscar's birthday down there because that's like his favorite place. And we like to go fishing, so he suggested that we go with him to go celebrate with him over there and go fishing like for the weekend or for 4th of July weekend, yeah. And we went down there to go celebrate with him, and on one of the days we went, he suggested that we take a fishing charter boat, which is they take you out for so many hours based on how much you pay, and then they bring you back and you can keep the fish that you caught or whatever. And they provide the stuff for you, like the rod, reel, baits, and stuff. So my dad agreed to it, and we ended up doing it. And the day started out like this because it's like the whole thing leads up to my seizure, I guess. Which sounds awful to say now. But yeah, I woke up like at 4 or 5 in the morning, I think, and got dressed, did all I needed to do, and we went to we got in our car. My dad put my pills in his shirt pocket, and we got in the car, like I said, and we started driving to the place where we get on the boat. After, I want to say, like maybe 30 minutes or so, we made it. And we got to the boat, and we got on pretty quick, I guess. My bad, that's Kiko and Kiki, the cat. They're fighting over there. Yeah, they don't like each other. But anyway, we got on the boat pretty quick. I want to say it was about like 5:30, maybe even earlier when we got on the boat. And it took off or whatever, and they told us the rules on the boat and what to do if we got seasick, which kind of sucked. The rule for that, like, we couldn't throw up in the restrooms on the boat. We had to throw up overboard, which sucked because nobody's trying to see anyone throw up. But yeah, that happened, or that's what they told us. We were like, all right, cool. We took off. I want to say about an hour, or a little bit less than an hour into the trip, I started getting seasick, and I went inside because like my dad wanted to get me like a soda or something, to settle my stomach, because maybe he thought maybe that was like the reason I was getting sick was because I hadn't eaten nothing or whatever, or nothing was in my stomach. And as soon as we got in the main spot where you could sit down, I ended up throwing up or needing to throw up, so I had to get out real quick and throw up overboard, which sucked because everybody was seeing me, but luckily I wasn't the only one throwing up. So yeah, that happened. Then I really didn't want to go back inside because like it's kind of sucks sitting on the inside while the boat's moving because of the way the waves are moving. But yeah, so me and my dad found some seats on the outside of the boat, and we sat down there, and it was cool, but it sucked at the same time because like the waves kept splashing us, and we're there or whatever chilling, And then I want to say about 7, maybe 8 o'clock, I told my dad I'm ready to take my pills for my epilepsy, and he tried to get them out of his pocket, but since the waves were hitting him or whatever, my pills had like dissolved with all the water that was hitting him, so I didn't have my medicine for the day, and I was gonna be on that boat for however long, and then I was just there like, dang, I was sick, no pills for my seizures. And then a little while after that, they said, all right, y'all can start fishing. They gave us the bait buckets, but I got too sick to fish or whatever. And I was just laying like on my dad's lap because we had a spot like to ourselves. So I laid on his lap, with my head on his lap or whatever. And he was fishing. And he ended up hooking into one fish. And I guess a shark or maybe even a dolphin, I don't know, ended up biting it in half. So when he reeled it in, he caught a head of a red snapper, which was cool, but it wasn't because we didn't catch nothing except that. And then later on, I tried to fish, but I ended up getting, I ended up just staying sick, basically. And then I went inside and I fell asleep. I woke up, we were already on the way back to shore. And then this is where the seizure happens, I guess. So we got to shore, and they pulled out all the fish that everyone had caught. Man, there was a lot. But anyway, I started trying to walk towards my truck, and every time I would walk, I'd start having those little twitching seizures. But they were like worse than normal. Like I couldn't walk. Like I could barely walk, I guess you could say. My dad had to help me to the truck. I had to hold on to stuff to keep walking. It was like if I was having a seizure in air for like a few seconds. If that's like the only way I could describe it. And then anyway, I got in the truck and my dad told him, Oscar, like, hey, if we can just leave without getting the fish, that way we could get him to the doctor. My cousin's doctor was like, yeah, man, it's fine, it's whatever. And we got on the ferry, and I guess that's when I had the seizure, was whenever we got on the ferry. Um, and what I remember is like going in and out of like seeing stuff. Like I remember like my eyes were open and I saw the doctor taking me like into the ambulance. And then I remember closing my eyes and then they opened, I guess. And I remember being in the ambulance and my dad was talking to the doctor. And then that was it basically. And then I woke up in the hospital with my dad around me. And he had bought me some food or whatever. And then he told me what happened, that I had had the seizure on the ferry and that some nurse luckily was on the ferry with us. And she helped my dad like chill out basically and help me with while I was having the seizure. And then yeah, that's basically what happened. I just remember laughing about it. Like whenever my dad told me about it, I was just like, okay. Like I didn't really care too much. And then yeah, that's basically what happened. He was not mad, but like he's just like, you shouldn't be laughing at that. It was serious. I was like, okay. I didn't really care too much, but yeah, that's basically the story of my first seizure. It sucked, I guess, because I didn't get to fish. It's what ruined it for me. But yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, nothing else to say. So I guess Mr. Beluga signing off as I normally say now. So.